Welcome to Newspage channel. Let's subscribe to watch newest news daily. Police arrest Plainfield teen suspected of killing his parents at Central, Chicago Tribune. A Southwest suburban year-old is suspected of fatally shooting his parents at a Central Michigan University residence hall on Friday, March. After a nearly day-long manhunt, authorities took into custody a college student from the Chicago suburbs who police said fatally shot his parents on the campus of Central Michigan University. The university and local police said year-old James Eric Davis Jr. of Plainfield was taken into custody after being seen passing through the campus after midnight Saturday. Law enforcement personnel responded and arrested the suspect without incident, according to the university's website. Authorities said Friday evening they had more than officers from multiple agencies searching. They had warned that Davis should be considered armed and dangerous. The victims were identified by authorities as Davis' parents James Eric Davis Sr. and Diva Janine Davis. Davis Sr. was a police officer in West Suburban Bellwood and an Illinois National Guard veteran who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. Diva Davis' Facebook page identified her as a real estate broker. Friends said she was also a breast cancer survivor and had worked as a flight attendant. People who knew the family called Davis Jr. respectful and a good kid and his parents upstanding, and said they saw no obvious signs of trouble with the teenager who was a sophomore at the school in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. James Eric Davis Jr., who police identified as the suspect in a shooting at a Central Michigan University residence hall on Friday, March. James Eric Davis Jr., who police identified as the suspect in a shooting at a Central Michigan University residence hall on Friday, March. He was a good kid, always said Deandra DeYoung, who met Davis Jr. when they were high school freshmen at Plainfield South High School and had kept in touch. You would never expect something like this to come from James. The Davises were reportedly picking up their son from college for spring break when the shooting happened about 8 a.m. inside Campbell Hall on campus. But Lieutenant Larry Klaus of the campus police department said Davis Jr. was taken to a hospital Thursday night by campus police because of a drug-related health problem, possibly an overdose. Authorities did not elaborate. Bellwood Police Chief Jimenez Allen confirmed Friday that Davis Sr. was a part-time officer in the village and called it a very difficult time for the department. An Illinois legislator whose district includes Bellwood, Representative Emanuel Chris Welch Hillside, said in a tweet on Friday afternoon, "My sincerest condolences go out to the family of Bellwood police officer James Davis Sr. and his wife who were shot and killed this morning. May they RIP. Bellwood Mayor Andre Harvey talks on March at the Bellwood Police Department about the death of part-time Bellwood police officer James Eric Davis Sr. and wife Diva Davis. Chris Sweet, Chicago Tribune. Bellwood Mayor Andre Harvey talks on March at the Bellwood Police Department about the death of part-time Bellwood police officer James Eric Davis Sr. and wife Diva Davis. Chris Sweet, Chicago Tribune. The younger Davis attended Plainfield South High for 3 years, then completed high school at Plainfield Central where he played basketball and graduated in Plainfield Community School District, officials confirmed. They declined any further comment out of respect to the family. Jordan Murphy, a longtime friend of Davis Sr., said they worked together as Illinois Army National Guard recruiters after being deployed together as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Murphy said Davis Sr., who went by Eric, brought his son to Murphy's home on several occasions. Jr. was a very respectful man raised by upstanding parents who would do anything to protect him and his siblings, Murphy said. This is an incredibly tragic event and I pray for Eric's other children. This is so incredibly out of character. Something went wrong somewhere. Murphy called Eric and Diva Davis loving, ever-present parents who doted on their children. Besides Davis Jr., the couple had a daughter and another son. Lieutenant Colonel Brad Leighton, Public Affairs Director of the Illinois National Guard, said Davis Sr. served with the Guard for years before retiring in. Part-time Bellwood police officer James Eric Davis Sr. He and wife Diva Davis were shot and killed allegedly by their son James Eric Davis Jr. at Central Michigan University. Part-time Bellwood police officer James Eric Davis Sr. He and wife Diva Davis were shot and killed allegedly by their son James Eric Davis Jr. at Central Michigan University. His time in the Guard included a deployment to Iraq when he was with the TH Transportation Company out of North Riverside. Later he worked as a recruiter out of the Joliet Armory, Leighton said. Julian Leal, who lives on the same block as the Davis home in Plainfield, called Davis Sr. a good neighbor, the type who would shovel out his neighbors after a snowstorm. "We had picnics in our backyard," Leal said. "I just had a beer with him last week. We talked about our kids who are in college. He was proud of his son." Leal added there was no hint of any problems or violence. "We're all confused and at a loss," he said. "We're telling our kids to be strong and pray for them. They wouldn't want us to fall apart." The shooting occurred on the last day of classes before spring break at the Mount Pleasant campus, which is about miles north of Lansing and is about a mile drive from Chicago. Parents who were trying to pick up students were told instead to go to a local hotel where staff would assist them while the manhunt was ongoing. The school posted an alert Friday morning on social media about shots being fired at Campbell Hall. An automated phone message also was sent to students. Haley Byron said she locked herself in her campus house about a minute walk from Campbell Hall. She had planned to run errands before traveling home to the Detroit area. "It's scary thinking about how easy a shooter can come into a college campus, anywhere, a classroom, a library. There's so much easy access," Byron said. Chicago Tribune's Robert McCappin and Rosemary Sobel contributed. Associated Press contributed. Mwelberg, ChicagoTribune.com. L. Leventis, ChicagoTribune.com. Gilman, ChicagoTribune.com. After a nearly day-long manhunt, authorities took into custody a college student from the Chicago suburbs who police said fatally shot his parents on the campus of Central Michigan University. The university and local police said year-old James Eric Davis Jr. of Plainfield was taken into custody. A crime scene response vehicle is parked outside Central Michigan University's Campbell Hall on March in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. A crime scene response vehicle is parked outside Central Michigan University's Campbell Hall on March in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Tyler Whipple, a Central Michigan University student, is interviewed by the media outside of Campbell Hall where a shooting took place on March in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Tyler Whipple, a Central Michigan University student, is interviewed by the media outside of Campbell Hall where a shooting took place on March in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. See you in the next news. Goodbye.